Morning Football, everybody. We're live in New York. This is our show. You can keep it here on NFL Network all day long for everything you need ahead of the divisional round. We here on our show call it the Throwdown Round with Kyle Brandt, the host with the most of the Nerd Bowl. How
Great
you feeling?
Nerd Bowl. Great Nerd Bowl, great competition. And it's fun that we shouted out Kurt Warner during the segment, and then Kurt immediately tweets, watching it, loved it. I don't know how those guys knew answers about James Madison in New Hampshire. Hashtag nerds only.
I just want to say this. I've never played on the NFL stage before, but if the heart beating that I had is even close to what Marcus Mariota had to deal with last week in Kansas City, I give those guys all the credit in the world to somehow stay poised and control and under calm.
Nate and I are back there. He's on that side. I'm on stage right, and we're just looking at each other like, what?
What's going down? It was amazing.
Lewis Lips, my man. Almost.
Shout out to Hammer and Schrags, and shout out to the final of the week, Lead Block. We cannot wait for the divisional weekend action to kick off in just a little over 24 hours. An amazing slate of action that includes 4 must-see matchups. So I thought we could do what we usually do and just sort of keep consistent in our routine and predict Monday morning's headlines today. Schrags, catch your breath after the Nerd Bowl. You winner. You're up.
Yeah, so earlier in the show, I gave the best of locker room sound from Jalen Ramsey, and it left huge smiles on our face. But when it comes to Game Time Sunday, it's no more fun and games. It's no more trash talk. It's no more in your locker room. It's going to be on the field. And you're looking at Le'Veon Bell, who's one of the best running backs that we've seen in the league over the last decade. Antonio Brown, who could be the best wide receiver in the league over the past decade. And you're looking at a quarterback who's got 2 Super Bowl rings. So are they up for the challenge? Are they up for that? Are they up for this big stage? I think they are. And the Jaguars defense is the real deal. So my headline coming out of that game on Sunday, I'm not predicting a win just yet, but I know that defense is going to show up and they're going to give their best effort. Forget the steel curtain. I'm going with the teal curtain.
Oh, that is nice.
That's
You
disrespectful.
stuck that landing.
You know, you've got Mean Joe Green and you've got Jack Ham and Jack Lambert, and you can name all the rest. But when I'm looking at Calais Campbell coming down there, rejuvenated Marcel Darius, a Dante Fowler Jr. that is a 3rd overall pick now playing like one, and then you can make the argument outside of Minnesota, the best defensive backfield in all of football in Boye and Gibson and oh baby, my man Jalen Ramsey. There's so many names. Is Miles Jack going to make the play of the game? Is Paul Posluszny going to lay somebody out? This is a defense that is 3 levels strong. And as much as we love that Steelers offense, I think they're in for a rude awakening if they think they're just going to roll right over the Jaguars. I'm going with that defense, the teal curtain. I think this game has 17-14 written all over it. I don't know which way it goes, but I don't think this is one of those blowouts for the Steelers.
You said forget the steel curtain, teal curtain. So just so I get the correct spelling for everybody at home, it's at P. Schrags, right?
Yep.
Okay, just to make sure you guys got that. Go ahead and at my guy. That was bold and disrespectful, and I love it. All right.
I can't wait till they use it on your Sunday show.
Yeah, we will. I'm going to steal it.
Boy.
I'm going to use it like it's my own. They're going to laugh at it. Nate, you're so clever. I steal all you guys' jokes all
Get
week.
you guys some wacky towels to wave around. That'd be fun.
All right, so what I'm going to go with, oftentimes you'll get something, you'll want something, you'll ask for something, and you'll see a sign that says, beware, buyers beware. There's a guy on the Titans defense that I really feel like the Patriots should worry about. And I know everybody at home is saying the Patriots, they don't need to worry about anything. They're going to win this game by 14. You've seen the spread, but I'm going to ask you, have you ever seen Kevin Byard? I'm going to say, Byard, beware.
Yes.
This
Man,
guy
that's
is an
great.
absolute
done.
baller. First in the league in takeaways. First in the league in takeaways. He has 10 takeaways. You guys understand, there's only 16 games. He has 10 of them. 8 interceptions. That's tied for first in the league with my guy Darius Slay. So with Tom Brady, we know he's going to test the skies. We know they're going to have tricks up their sleeves. And if you throw it anywhere near this young man, he's going to come down with it. And not only is he ready to play ball, which I know he'll do when he show up on game day, he's been talking greasy. My man said, I don't care about the history of the Patriots. I'm going to make Tom Brady look like Blake Bortles. Now, whether you want to take that disrespectfully, if you're a Jacksonville Jaguar fan, or if you're a Patriots fan saying Tom Brady and Blake Bortles in the same sentence, either way, Kevin Byard, he is on one, and I want to see him steal one, and pick one on game day, I'm going with buyer beware.
Buyer beware. You throw it in, you might have buyer remorse. Too.
Oh, hey
Hey
now.
now, hey now, hey now.
Well done.
I want to talk about the Vikings and the Saints because this game to me is the hardest to figure out who has the edge on who, and we can talk a lot about whether it's, Coach Broomstick or Zim City who have the advantage, or will it be a breeze for breeze? Should the Vikings defense be afraid of the Mark and Mark Ingram? And they're so well matched up there in the first playoff game ever to be played at U.S. Bank, but we can't overlook two of the biggest stars in the game. Everson Griffin, who has 13 sacks in the regular season. Cam Jordan has 13 sacks of his own. They both have a savory matchup, too, so they're both facing offensive line that have changed over and over, a lot of injury. Keenum's proven he's really elusive back there, really hard to take down, but he did get sacked 13 times the last 4 games without Elflein. Elflein's back, that's great. The revamped offensive line is intact. Breeze, we all know, gets rid of the ball faster than anybody in the game, so who wants it more? How much does crowd noise come into play? It's all about these pass rushers and these O-lines and the sacks. So my headline is Saxianapolis.
Forget Saxonville.
Bringing Saxy back.
Yep, Saxoniapolis.
All right.
I think it's going to come down to those two monster nightmares with the pass rush. Both sides.
We don't know how any of these games are going to shake out, except don't you feel like this one could be like a classic? Like play it on the network years from now. They're so evenly matched.
I love the
across
Saints. I've
board.
loved them all year, but I have a migraine trying to figure out who has the edge and the advantage.
There's such recent history. 2009, they played the NFC Championship game. Brett Favre is leading them for a game.
Yep.
The Vikings haven't won a Super Bowl in their 51 years of existence, and Tracy Porter picks it up. Like, that is still so fresh, Kay, and the Vikings have to right or wrong. You're right.
That's facts.
Guys, I always do 80s music for my headline. They
Let's
say
go.
it couldn't be done, and we're still doing it since week 1 this year. We go to the year 1988. When there was a glorious androgynous hair metal band that was just cranking out the hits. The second single off their second album, Open Up and Say Ah, very subtle, was a song, a power ballad, where it is about going the lightness after the dark, and every night has its dawn. And I look at Nick Foles, and he's just been through so much, and he's had the run in Philly, and then he gets bounced around. He's on national TV getting cut and here. And now, what does he have? A chance to make it all work on a big stage, a redemption story. So my headline is going to be, every Foles has its turn. And sitting at home, the rival Dallas Cowboys sing a sad, sad song. Guys, I look at Foles in this. All the chatter seems to always go to, hey, Nick Foles had a 7-touchdown game. We're seeing it right here. Nick Foles had a 4-touchdown game. I think Nick Foles needs to have himself a 1-touchdown game, maybe a 2-touchdown game. Talked about earlier in the show, meat and potatoes, run the ball, stop the run. I know that there is a national funeral being held for the 2017 Philadelphia Eagles season. It's over. They have asked in lieu of flowers, send donations to the Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl March Fund, all that great. But I think Philadelphia is going to win at home. And Nick Foles, just do his thing, nothing special, hand it off, win.
That
Every
means
Foles has his turn.
Jay Ajayi is Ricky Rocket? Is that how
Yes, Mr. Bobby Dahl on the bass guitar, CeCe DeVille flipping that guitar on. You're right.
Don't you love
Peter, great
CeCe
pull.
DeVille?
That's the guy,
Don't
right?
you, Nate?
People say Sabathia has the corner and CeCe is, no, it's DeVille. Cecil B and CeCe.
Love that. Let's welcome in our GMFB fam here down live right now in Philadelphia outside of Lincoln Financial Field in the famed K-Lot. I've never had the pleasure, but that would be fun. Ahead of tomorrow's Eagles-Falcons game. Let's say good morning football to Colleen Wolfe, Mike Garafolo, and Michael Robinson. Guys, I want to talk about the fact that the Eagles, where you guys are underdogs, which is sort of crazy and disrespectful. Could that somehow be used to their advantage, guys?
Well, I'm sure it could. I know Fletcher Cox this week, he talked about how, they've been disrespected all year, the Eagles, and, they definitely see what's happening, and I think that it could bring a little extra edge, especially for that defense.
Fletcher said they've been disrespected all year. How? Well, everybody's been saying they've been the best team in the league. Lately, why? Well, you know why? You lose a not a Hall of Fame. No, Jeezy. Don't do me like that. I misspoke. But, I mean, an MVP caliber type of a player in Carson Wentz, you cannot lose a guy like that and not expect to lose some type of credibility in the playoffs. I mean, come on, Fletcher. Nobody's saying that you guys are a bad team. We're just saying you lost an MVP caliber type of a quarterback. But going back to the underdog
to a
question.
6 seed.
To a 6 seed, yeah, right. Going back to the underdog question, you know what? I think it's going to add a little fuel to the fire. I think it's going to get these guys pumped up. I think it's going to get this defense going, and especially the defensive line. Fletcher Cox plays a position where they can get after the quarterback a lot. I like what I'm seeing from this Philadelphia Eagles defense.
I was down here Monday and Tuesday. Lane Johnson was one of the guys who made it clear that they don't like the way that they've been disrespected. He threw a fit a couple of weeks ago, told the media, I may never talk to you guys ever again. Finally clarifies this week what had been going on. He said, I was really upset with the fact that we were 12-2 and, in his words, being treated like we're the Browns, which I got a couple of texts.
That's what he said.
That's exactly what he said. Word for word. That is a quote. He said we were 12-2, being treated like we were the Browns. So he's really upset with that. So a lot of the guys are. They were saying publicly, most of them, that, no, we're not even aware, we don't pay attention. No, they absolutely are paying attention. They are talking about it behind closed doors. And a couple of guys say we've got some stuff written up on the walls and all that stuff. They are acutely aware of how most people are picking the Atlanta Falcons.
It's like saying that you didn't know it was raining out here and sitting out in the rain.
Yeah, no.
I didn't know it was going to be like this. Is that bad on
You
me?
bring the umbrella. I will say this, and guys, you know I'm from down here, so I got a lot of friends down here, grew up down here.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, you too, I heard.
When did you move to Philly?
So my Facebook feed right now is nothing but Kyle Brandt just up and down. Is that right? Some people just
Me too.
posting it left and right.
Yeah.
Saying this will get you fired up, Eagles fans. Everybody take a look at this one. Listen, if you haven't seen it, people, log into my Facebook page. The password is WizWit. Check it out.
Why are you doing that? Why are you
I
giving
hate
them your
Wiz cheese.
login
Is that how you
password?
seriously take your cheesesteak? It's awful, gross. Yeah, Kyle, everybody's like, why don't you take a page from Kyle Brandt's book and talk a little bit better about the Eagles? So, like, everybody is
And they
on
put their hand
the
up, too.
Kyle
They're like-
Brandt bandwagon right now.
Look, you get really creative and reference the movie Rocky. No one's ever done that before. It's going to hit big on the internet. But, guys, it had its moment. It's over. It's everything. After the show, I'll be on WIP. You can tune in and listen. I'll be talking about more. Okay, thank you. Thanks, you guys.
Love that. Thank you guys so much. We like what we're seeing out there.
Great
And
job,
you
you
guys will
guys.
be out
Awesome
there
job,
at 9
guys.
a.m. Eastern tomorrow. A full day of coverage with our best on NFL.